we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money and the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Your Black World in the Black Business School, and I'm coming in here because I wanted to come back a little bit later and also have a conversation with you guys about viruses. Now, I am not a doctor. I am a concerned citizen. I'm a Black man with a brain, and I'm an American citizen like you guys are, or most of you. Some of you may not be American citizens, but we're all citizens of the world. And I kind of wanted to just talk a little bit about just thoughts that I had, and then sort of research that I've done about this whole thing with the corona thing. You know, this is everybody's talking about it. It's kind of a big deal. A lot of damage being done. A lot of panic happening right now. A lot of economic damage being done. A lot of folks being losing their jobs. It's kind of a mess. It's really, really bad. And so what I want to do is and I'm going to have a deeper conversation tonight with Faye Bishop about this on drboycetv.com. And I want to start off by saying that, you know, if you have anybody that's been affected, you know, by all of this on any level, or if you've been affected, or if you're feeling afraid or something like that, this is not meant to be disrespectful to how you feel. This is not meant to hurt your feelings. This is not meant to get you mad or riled up. This is really meant to kind of just see if we can have a logical conversation about this. Anyway, here's what my thought is. Now, some of you, I see somebody, Derek, you asking a question about stock options. You know, I talk about options actually in my stock market class, the blackstockmarketprogram.com, theblackstockmarketprogram.com. So feel free to take a look at that, because today I'm not going to talk about options. We're going to talk about life. Now, Ty, I do see you in there, Ty. What's going on, brother? How are you? All right. So here's what's going on, right? I've had a lot of people getting really, really upset because I'm not upset. Like they're angry because I'm not panicking over this corona thing. I just can't panic because my brain has this thing in it called that I was cursed with, called common sense. And common sense tells me not that any of this is fake, but it tells me that some of it's fake, that something's not real, that something is off, something ain't adding up. You know, somebody's playing somebody, and we're going to really know this in about 2 months. In about 2 months, you'll know if somebody got played. And you know how you'll know? Mark my words, mark this down. Because if I'm wrong, I want you to hold me accountable. If I'm wrong, I want y'all to come back to me and say, Boyce, you motherfucker. You know, you lied to us. You were feeding us a bunch of crap. You know, you were suspecting that our government might lie to us. And how dare you do that? Right? Because our government always tells us the truth, don't they? They don't ever lie. They don't ever manipulate us for their own agenda, do they? That's never happened. Now, has it? So 2 months. What's today? Today's March 25th. So April 25th, May 25th. I want you to come back, and I want us to remember this video, and you can play it. I mean, if I'm wrong, if I'm off, if I'm running my mouth and talking crazy, I want you to come back and say you were wrong. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to apologize. I'm going to be like, man, I'm so sorry. And in fact, I'm apologizing in advance for the fact that I might have to apologize. So here's what's going on in my head. And you know me, I can't run away from the truth. And so I'm just going to lay it out there. I'm not comfortable with what I'm seeing with the way this virus is being covered. I think that what got me to call Faye Bishop today was I saw Slim Thug, the rapper, announcing that he had the coronavirus. And I met Slim Thug. I met him, Willie D. Willie D is going to be in my wedding. Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, good brother. And I went down to Willie D's thing down in Houston. It was like a celebration of his 30 years in hip hop. And it was a wonderful event. And Slim Thug was there, Bun B was there. Bun B, you know, another one of my favorite rappers. Just a lot of cool people. I even met, I think his name was it Pastor Troy or Lil Troy from, anyway, he did that, Wanna Be a Baller. Yeah, D.L. Hughley was there. A lot of great people were there. Mike Epps was there. And it was a real cool event. And I remember, you know, I saw Slim Thug. He was a nice guy, and I like him a lot. And I saw that he announced that he had the coronavirus. And so here's where I am right now, right? I know I said Pastor Troy. I meant to say Lil Troy. No disrespect to Lil Troy. He's a very nice guy too. We had a great conversation. But here's the deal. So Slim Thug is on TMZ, and he's announcing that he has the coronavirus. I'm a little bit immune to that by now. I'm not that I don't care, because I like Thug a lot. I Slim Thug. I told him, I said, I heard you doing good things in the community, brother. I just want to say I applaud that. But I don't. It's like, you know how they say, but did you die though? Did you die though? Like, that was my question I want to ask. Like, did you die though? Like if you got the virus and he's on TMZ and he's describing, you know, I feel fine. I got a little, I got a little cough, a little something in my throat, but I'm gonna be okay. Then I'm like, okay, nothing to see here. All right, let's keep it moving. You know, I'm not saying that it's not serious. You know, when we get a cold or the flu or pneumonia or whatever, it's bad, right? You know, you got viruses all over. You got STDs. Celebrities don't announce when they get a new STD because, you know, a lot of them, they get it in. They have a lot of sex, right? So they don't announce it. I got herpes, y'all. You know, like they don't do that, right? So my thing is, if the announcement is being made, show me a celebrity. Show me one. Because, you know, dozens of celebrities have been announcing when they get the coronavirus. Show me one celebrity who has died from the coronavirus. Show me one. Point to one. I mean, because you got a ton to choose from. Everybody, because you're going out, you're shaking a lot of hands, you're going to catch a lot of little stuff, a lot of infections. I know this. I'm not a celebrity. I don't consider myself a celebrity, but I shake a lot of hands. I meet a lot of people. So I quarantined myself right after I went to Atlanta. I quarantined myself because I said I shook a ton of hands while I was in Atlanta, and I don't want to infect anybody. So I'm going to go home and kick it and make sure I don't infect anybody. So anybody who says that me simply questioning the motives behind all of this hoopla, you know, anybody who says that this is indicative that I'm not taking it seriously, you are a goddamn liar, because I've been in the basement quarantined for a good 2 weeks now, 10 days, something like that. As soon as they said quarantine, I said, let me get away from people, because Lord knows I don't want to make nobody sick, right? But so I'm watching this and I'm sort of analyzing, like, because I'm not boo-boo the fool. You can't just get me just because you put it on CNN and put it in big letters. I'm doing the math. So I'm sitting here, I'm hearing like, Celebrity B has the coronavirus. Prince Charles has the coronavirus. You know, Idris Elba has the coronavirus. So I'm like, oh shit, is Idris gonna die? Oh man, I would hate for Idris to die. He was good in The Wire. Is he okay? And Idris is like, I'm okay, I'm fine, but you got to do social distancing, everybody. And being very responsible. Shout out to Idris. But Idris, last time I checked, my question for Idris is, did you die though? Like, did you just say like, okay, I had a cough for a couple of days, now I'm okay? If that's the case, then why are we panicking over something that doesn't really kill that many people unless they are old or have pre-existing conditions? My heart goes out to those people, though. I'm not saying that those people don't deserve love and respect. I think the more I watched it, the more I was taking it in, the more I was thinking, well, maybe we should quarantine all old people, all senior citizens. I'm going to say old people because I don't want to sound disrespectful. Maybe all the senior citizens should be quarantined. Maybe all the people with pre-existing conditions should be quarantined. And maybe anybody who lives with a person who has a pre-existing condition or is a senior citizen, maybe they should be quarantined too. And we give, instead of spending all this money giving a check to everybody, we just give a check to those people to make sure that they're good. And it could be a big check. I would totally vote for that. I would totally support that. But when you shut down the whole country and you're creating all this fear, my fear. See, y'all's fear gave me fear. I'm afraid because y'all afraid. When they said we have nothing to fear but fear itself, I'm fearing the fear that I'm seeing out here because I'm sitting there thinking, wow, what you're fearing may not be that scary, but it's the fear of the fear that can really create something for you to really be scared of, right? When people out here ain't got a paycheck for 3 weeks and start robbing and killing folks, I fear that. I fear the consequences of what can happen in a broken down society where the entire economic engine has been shut down. That's what I fear. So here's what I'm thinking, right? And this is what I'm hearing. Faye Bishop and I on drboystv.com tonight about 8:30. Faye and I are going to break it down a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit, have an open conversation. That's what it's going to be. No misinformation, no fake news, no lies. I'm going to get CDC data, all of that. I'm going to back everything up with data. I'm not coming out here just trying to, and I told you guys, I'm following the rules just because I wanted a vacation. I wanted to quarantine. Anyway, it's been fun, right? I love Alicia, so we're cool in the same house. It's not a tiny house, so we got plenty of space. But what I'm trying to process is this. When I hear from people in hospitals and I hear that the hospitals are full, I don't really know. I'm curious. This is a wide open question. Leave your response in the comments. My question is, all these people that are in the hospital, are they all there because they're all dying from the coronavirus? Or are some of those people in the hospital because they have seasonal allergies like me and are scared shitless because they've been glued to the TV set that has been throwing up news flashes every hour of some celebrity who caught the coronavirus? I'm just asking. I'm not making accusations. I'm not saying it's fake. I'm not saying it's not real. I want to make sure that's clear because I have people that are mad at me for even asking the damn question, but I'm not going to run away from a question that needs to be asked. I'd be curious to know, as somebody said, Dr. Boyce, do you think that they manipulated the stock market? Do you think that they created a panic so the stock prices would drop and wealthy people could go in and buy up a bunch of stock? I said, well, I don't know. All I know is I see a lot of wealthy people that are buying a ton of stock now. I saw Elon Musk mention that he thought that the whole corona panic was stupid. I'm not going to say it's stupid because I'm not calling you stupid. If you're scared, fear. I wouldn't say fear is a logical thing, but fear is a natural thing. But when I talk to people I know, and I think about senior citizens in my family who live in cities where there is not one single coronavirus case anywhere and not one single death anywhere on coronavirus, where they're scared to even go outside and get their mail, I'm not really sure how to measure that. When I look at statistics, let me pull up some stats here. I got some statistics from cebm.net, the Center for Evidence-Based Medicine. And it's from Oxford University, which is kind of the Harvard of England. I'm going to read some of this data. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done that yet. Please hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to follow Intelligent Conversations, we have them all day, every day on my Instagram, which is The Real Boyce Watkins. The Real Boyce Watkins is my Instagram, so feel free to follow me on the gram. And my Twitter is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1, Dr. Boyce Watkins, and then the number 1. So here's what they have in terms of mortality rates. Actually, let me. Those of you who are watching anywhere other than Instagram, you can actually see this chart. Those who are not on Instagram, you can still see. I'll still read some of this out to you. So these are the mortality rates and the number of deaths and number of cases. There's not a date on this data, but Italy's way up there. Italy has the 69,000 cases and 6,800 deaths. Their mortality rate is near the top of the world. It's the third in the world. The other two that are higher are San Marino and Bangladesh. But as you can see, the number of cases they have are very low. Bangladesh has 39 cases. San Marino has 187 cases. I didn't do well in geography in high school, and so I can't tell you where San Marino is located. I'm so sorry. You go down, you look down here, you see that the mortality rates, fatalities, in terms of the percentage of people who have it versus the percentage of people who die, you see that for most countries in the world, for the bottom maybe 20 or 30 countries, the mortality rates are about 3% or less. Morocco on down, you've got 3% or less. So that means that if 100 people are in a room, 100 people are in the room of random ages and they all have the coronavirus, 3 of them are going to die. Now, that's bad. Those three, any death is a bad death. Now, one thing I'll say though is, as a black man, death has always been on our doorstep. You know, I don't know if any brothers in here can identify, if you have a son, there's a million ways for a black man to die. So that are higher than 3%. So that doesn't really scare me, to be honest with you. I live in Chicago. People die, black people die every day. And so here's another stat you may want to pay attention to. These are the number of deaths and cases by age. So according to this data here, now it looks like this is from the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So this appears to be China. Under 9 years old, they have 416 cases, 0 deaths. Nobody died who was under the age of 9. 10 to 19, they had 1 death out of 549 cases. You might get a number like that with the seasonal flu. 20 to 49, it goes a little higher, about 0.32%. 0.32% means that if 300 people have the virus, 1 of them is going to die. So again, 1 death is always bad, but if you're in a room with 300 people and they say 1 of you is going to have some really bad luck today, do you really think that that's going to be you, or do you think that it's probably going to be somebody else, right? You see the stats get higher, you get up over 50, it goes to 1.3%. So if you're in your 50s, you have a 1% chance or higher. 60 to 69, even senior citizens have a pretty low rate of death. Now 70 above, it starts to get real. 8% for 70 to 79-year-olds, 14.8% for 80-plus-year-olds who probably could be killed in a lot of different ways at that age. God bless all the 80-year-olds who are watching. I don't know how many 83, 84-year-olds are watching right now, but we all know that that's a tender age, and there's lots of things that can kill somebody, at that age. Now, here's what it looks like they've got some conditions listed here in terms of conditions. Critical cases at CFR 49%. No deaths occurred amongst those with mild or even severe symptoms. So I don't know. I guess they're saying that 10% of them had cardiovascular disease, 7.3% of them had diabetes, 6.3% chronic respiratory disease, hypertension, things like that. So it looks like, according to the Center, the Center for Evidence-Based Medicine. So those of you who think I'm just talking crazy, just know that I am bringing some stats here, so we can but again, the interpretation of the stats is where it gets interesting, right? You can see here that one thing that they're mentioning is that cardiovascular disease is a big risk factor in COVID-19. Most acute viral infections have 3 short-term effects on the CVD system: increased risk of acute coronary syndromes due to inflammatory response, depression of the myocardium, in the inflammatory process that can unmask heart arrhythmias. So what it almost looks like to me is that, you really have something going on here that is a little deeper than just, oh my God, there are these cosmic cooties that will kill everybody. If we get it, then we could die no matter what. It looks like it's something that operates on a pre-existing condition. So it is bad. I mean, it's worthy of paying attention to. Is it worth shutting down the entire world and sitting in your house in fear? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. If you enjoy being afraid of everything, some people are just scared of everything. Some people are hypochondriacs. If that's your thing, if that's how you roll, then keep being scared. That's fine. But I would probably debate you on whether or not you actually have something to be afraid of. And that's what I'm going to say here is that, there's a lot of things that can kill you. In fact, if you look, this is another thing I made people really mad about this when I did this, but I thought it was interesting to throw this up there. I threw up a chart of all the things that kill people, and I put it on my Instagram, and I'm gonna pull up my gram right now to try to find it so you guys can see it. Don't follow me on Instagram if you're overly sensitive, because I'm probably gonna say something that's gonna piss you off. I piss off my friends. That's how self-destructive I can be. So let me show you guys this chart that I put up on my Instagram. This is average disease deaths per day worldwide. So you look on here, you see tuberculosis. Now this was done on the 19th, so the numbers have changed a little for coronavirus, which is something a reason to be concerned. It's something to pay attention to. But you see here, you've got tuberculosis way out here at 3,000 people a day. 3,000 people a day die from tuberculosis. I would imagine that if we were going to freak out about something or declare a national emergency, we could probably start with tuberculosis, but I don't know how people get it. I'd like to find out more, because apparently it's killing 3,000 people every day. So this week, tuberculosis has killed about 22,000 people, which is a bigger number than coronavirus. Doesn't mean coronavirus isn't serious, but there's some big players out here. Hepatitis B, a lot of people got that. That's out there. We could probably freak out on that. Pneumonia, my God, pneumonia kills 2,200 people a day. HIV/AIDS, well, shit, go to Atlanta, man. All I can say, Atlanta is real. HIV is very real in Atlanta. Can I get a witness? Can somebody tell me that you know what I'm talking about? Malaria kills 2,002 people a day. Shigellosis kills 1,600 people a day, mostly children. You know how these children die? They have severe diarrhea. So imagine your baby dying after having several days of severe diarrhea. Personally, maybe I'm a weirdo, but honestly, if you were trying to get my attention, it would be easier to get my attention by saying, hey, Dr. Boyce, there are thousands of children a week dying, after getting severe diarrhea. We got to do something about it. I'd be like, shit, where do I sign? What do we got to do? What bill we got to pass to save these poor babies that are dying from shigellosis? Rotavirus, 1,233 people. Seasonal flu, just a regular flu, 1,027. You go down the list, swine flu, H1N1, that's during the pandemic, that's 743. Norovirus, whooping cough, typhoid, cholera, meningitis, measles, and rabies. Right now on that chart, they all beat out coronavirus. So am I sitting here, and I have to be real clear about this for the dumb motherfuckers in the back, for the people that want to create a false narrative. This is what it just happens. It's just so you know, when the world's gotten so damn political and stupid that people will reshape what you're saying because it doesn't fit their agenda. Like they did that really bad when I mentioned that thing about Lizzo. I don't know if y'all remember that when I basically said maybe we shouldn't be encouraging people to get diabetes and heart disease and obesity. Maybe that's something we shouldn't applaud. Maybe it's something we should say we love you, but we think we'd like for you to do better. And they took that into a black man hates the black woman kind of thing, because it's very easy to indict a black man. It's very easy to say, look at those evil black men. Look at how bad they are. So the real virus is in your fucking head. The racism that causes you to hate black men so much that even when I make an intelligent, thoughtful analysis of a very serious problem, you reduce it to unga bunga, black man hate black woman, and that's all it is. So again, this is a space for intelligent black people. This is not a space for stupid people. So stupid people are going to get mad. So my point is to say at the end of the day that this is not saying that the coronavirus is not real. It's very, very real. You should do social distancing. You should do the quarantines because you got to follow the rules. You don't follow the rules, then, people beat you up and bad things happen and whatever. But, I would encourage you to at least, know the difference between fact and fiction. Know the difference between what is actually happening and what might happen, right? Know the difference between what is really going on versus what the media is telling you about. Because they could, if they really wanted to stretch this coronavirus epidemic out for another year, they really could. They really could. If I was media and I was like, the evil people in control of the government, and also if I wanted to control people's minds with the coronavirus, even if there were only, 10 deaths a week for the rest of the year, you know what I would do? If I owned CNN, I would say, okay, every time a child or anybody dies from coronavirus, I want you to make that person our lead story for the day. Child dies from coronavirus, dun, 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 right? And everybody will internalize that. Like 300 million people will internalize that and think, oh my God, that could be me. Oh my God, that could be my child, right? That's what media does. And that's why, for example, I live in Chicago. So many, you have no idea. How many of you, really, seriously, if you don't live in Chicago, be honest with me. How many of you would be a little bit nervous about coming to Chicago because you've heard about all the killing in Chicago? You've heard them call it Chirac and the killing fields and all this other stuff. Anybody heard about the violence and the murders in Chicago? All the killing in Chicago? Chicago has a lot of killing. It's a problem. Lots of black people die in Chicago, without a doubt. It's very real. It's not fake. This is not fake news. But do you know do you know how many millions of people live in Chicago and have never ever been shot at, have never ever been near a shootout, don't know nobody who's been shot, ain't never been around when somebody got gunned down? Do you know how many, most people in Chicago, they read about it, but they're not there? Well, why is that? Well, because Chicago's a big fucking city, right? So a lot of times your reality is shaped by what they blow up in your face. They take something small and they make it big, and then you internalize it and you say, oh my God, that could be me. Next thing you know, grandma won't even come out of the house to check the mail, even though not one single person in her town has tested positive for coronavirus. But she's turned on Fox News, and every other minute it's Fox News alert. Tickle Me Elmo has the coronavirus. MC Hammer got the coronavirus. Seriously, Fred Flintstone got the coronavirus. Right? It's not that it's funny. People get mad when I laugh, but I'm laughing because it's like this weird manipulation. So just don't let them manipulate you. Like, take it seriously. Wash your hands. You should be washing your hands anyway, because it's just nasty not to. Social distance, that's fine, sure, because this thing could blow up. It could become something bigger. So you have to acknowledge that, right? And I could be wrong. I could be very wrong about some of what I said. So I want to make sure I lay that out there. But you got to move on with your life at some point, and you can't sit frozen in fear because of all the things that might happen. Sure, people are catching coronavirus, but far more people are not catching coronavirus. People are dying from the disease, but far more people are not dying from the disease, right? So I think that that's important, and the media will not tell you that. It's just like when I talk about investing in the stock market, I have a problem fighting the media because the media creates fear. People fear investing because the media will always tell you when the stock market crashes, but they almost never tell you when the stock market recovers and people are making a ton of money. Fighting against fear is very difficult. So I just want to encourage you guys who have some sense to not let fear paralyze you. That's why I did this podcast. That's why I'm having this discussion right now. All right, guys. So I'm going to go and I wanted to have the discussion also so that my words wouldn't get completely misinterpreted. People are going to do that anyway because they got their agendas. But I just thought that for those who really want to understand the perspective, I would lay it out there, and you can feel free to disagree. It's totally fine. This is a platform for intelligent Black people. So freedom of thought and expression is exactly what we encourage. So be yourself, be you, have your perspective. Just make sure you think it through and that it's well informed. All right, guys, so I'm about to get out of here. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Some of you are asking how you can support Black media. Well, you can go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. We would appreciate any support you can provide to the platform to help us grow and to expand, because we're trying to take over media. And also, we're also digging deep in the film industry. We do have Boyce Watkins Films, and we made this great film with a director by the name of Tierra KJ Williams. There's some great, wonderful Black women who've made some great films with our company. Tierra is one of them, and so we're going to do a Black movie night where we're all going to get together online and watch the movie together and have a discussion with the filmmaker afterward. And so we'd love for you guys to come and hang out with us on Black Movie Night. So if you'd like to register, go to blackmovienight.net, not .com, it's .net, blackmovienight.net. And so we're going to watch the film. We're going to have a conversation with Tierra. I'm also bringing in Roosevelt Mitchell III, an award-winning educator. He's going to talk about homeschooling your kids. I think that now that you have this opportunity to have your kids at home and get used to that, I encourage you to consider this an opportunity to create a new life for yourself. And so I'm not saying everybody has to do this, but you may want to look into homeschooling your kids. I'm finding that kids that are homeschooled properly do far better than kids that go to the public schools, because the public schools are garbage. We know that. But if your kid goes to a great public school, then keep sending them. But a lot of you have complaints about it. Well, I say don't complain about it. Do something about it, right? So we have homeschooling experts out there that can guide you through the process. Nomalanga Mushali Moses will also be there, and she also has homeschooled her children. She just yanked them out of the public school because the schools were screwing their kids over, and she said that's not going to happen to my babies, not on my watch. So if you'd like to join us for that discussion, please visit blackmovienight.net, and you can register now. And thank you, Dual Victory, for moderating, and all the other mods that are in the chat. I appreciate you guys. And hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button before you get out of here. And Fly High says, I need a mentor, Dr. Watkins. Well, you are. I am your mentor. So keep tuning in. And I love talking to young people. And I love giving young people advice. If there's something I can do to help you, to give you hope, inspiration, guidance, and information, then that's what I want to do. So I take that job and I honor it. And I appreciate the fact that you're listening to me. And I will do all I can to help you to avoid the mistakes that I made when I was younger. So take care, guys. I'm out of here. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Be good. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boy's TV.